Hello, Cancer. It's Jenny here with your August Tarot Horoscope. So, just going to pull a single card for the month of August, as always, and see what's coming up for you this month. The first 2/3 of the month is Leo season, and then we're going to be rolling into Virgo season. So, those are the main energies that we'll be working with this month. I have a little bit of a cold. My throat's pretty sore, so I might keep this kind of brief or not. We'll see how I'm feeling. But if I gotta cough a little or sip my tea, that's why. So we're just gonna keep shuffling. See, here we go. That one works. Okay, Cancer. What we have for you is the Page of Wands. So here's the way he looks. We have this dandy young fellow, well-dressed, dapper man. He's got this nice big cane or wand here, and he's got this big kind of yellow, bright aura all the way around him, sort of sweeping kind of reds and greens along the side. And we're going to see what the Page of Wands has to say for us today. Okay, Page of Wands, renewed strength. Only on this card is the central figure totally enveloped in his own aura from head to foot. This has a double meaning. The Page of Wands is totally immersed in his own concerns. He surrenders to his flame and his passion unconditionally and is always full of enthusiasm. At the same time, the card counsels us to be aware of the limitations of our perceptions because we are absorbed in our own world. The snake-like or butterfly-like drawings around the central figure alert us to much greater potential. Our zest for action and desire to develop urge us on to reach beyond our own boundaries now. In relation to our motivational forces, wands, fire, energy, the scope of our actual experience is relatively small. This is a danger, but also an opportunity. Beware of naive inactivity as well as effusive zeal. We once entered this life full of the will to survive, to grow, and to express ourselves. We can harness this zeal now to explore the world thoroughly, greeting each success or failure as a new experience. If we welcome ordeals of fire and recognize them as a form of inner purification, we will find ourselves enriched by these lessons. Our ability always to go beyond ourselves gives us renewed strength and replenishes our youthful vitality. Practical advice. Learn to understand energies that are larger than you are. Beware of narrow-mindedness. Hold on to that which makes your heart sing and your spirit soar. Okay, Cancer. This is an interesting card for you because it kind of parallels some of the natural Cancerian tendency to kind of hunker into the crab shell and retreat into the self of the protective layer. But it's this kind of different sense, and it's a fire energy, which is of course polarized to the Cancer water energy. So there's this feeling of this page who's kind of stuck in his own little world, but this world is very vibrant. It's inspired. It's very focused on his own kind of desires and what he wants and his passion and what he's really feeling. So he's in it. He's I'm going to cook up some good stuff. I've got a new idea. Page as a card is very much it's very youthful. It's the student. It's new ideas. It's a fresh kind of enthusiasm that it's really just the spark of something new and that hasn't really been initiated yet. And this being a fire card, that's already the spark. So this is really ooh, there's this excitement, this first day of school, I'm going to create something. I don't really know how to yet. I haven't yet learned from the masters. I don't have a lot of experience myself. It's just this raw enthusiasm that's going to mash with talent, and it's just so much potential. But so it's got this twofold awesome for the person who's in it, but can also then really disconnect you from the rest of the world. If you're totally consumed by your passion or totally consumed in your focus and your inspiration, a lot of things can kind of pass you by, or you don't really notice that other people are trying to get your attention because you're kind of consumed by this. So it's a neutral thing. It's really what you do with it. If you're really focused in and hunker down, and especially communicate with other people, I'm really inspired right now. I've got these great ideas, these new things. I'm really trying out this something new. I really might not be available for a little while, so people can understand that you're kind of in your enthusiasm, and then they're not feeling offended or burnt by it, and then you don't have to constantly bring yourself out and try to get back into that excitement and trying to blow yourself out because you still have all of these other obligations you haven't tended to. The best way to really use this power is to really hunker down in there, but let other people know. And then if and when you then can come out and see things, you're look what I did. I've got all these great things. People aren't going to be yeah, you totally abandoned us this whole time. Or you come out and realize, oh, a lot of things in your life have kind of fallen apart because you didn't really pay attention. So that's really helpful to think about as well, just in your Cancerian nature anyway, is that Cancer can really such a big heart and so much emotional expression that when you're tapped out or that when you're hurt, just I'm coming back in. I don't want to talk to people. I need to just like recover. And that's a really wonderful and useful thing to do. It's really like a healing place to be. But that's also really helpful to think of just letting people know that you're kind of tapped out emotionally, letting people know you need some space, that you're, shutting the door, not because you're necessarily mad at them or there's something wrong with them, but because you just need your safe space. You just need your haven. And communicating that at the beginning of things can just really just help everybody and just smooth a lot of things over. So when you finally come out of your shell, you're not like, oh my God, damage control of everything that I left behind while I was tucked in here. So this is a really like an interesting combo that like if you are dealing with that Cancerian like who kind of come in energy anyway, it doesn't always have to be like I got my feelings hurt, no, I need to be sad. Like there's a lot of stereotypes for Cancer that way. It can really like be like, yeah, maybe like I kind of did get a little bit burned by other people, but actually I'm going into my shell because I've got things to do. I'm excited, and it's really hard often for Cancer not to just be always giving and nurturing others and pouring out so much of that energy. So sometimes the only time Cancer can get their own stuff done is to shut the door on other people and to be like, if I see you, I'm not going to be able to resist the call to like help and love you. So I just need to keep you up for a minute so I can cook up my own stuff. So that's a really a really nice thing to kind of have the opportunity to do right now. And yeah, just really like cook that shit up. So this is, we're in Leo season right now, and we're going to be in Leo season until the 2/3 of the month. And Leo season is a fire energy as well, and is all about creativity and expression. So there's already a really great injection if you're like, of really wanting to bring what is in your heart that you want to create and get it kind of out and building. This is a really great time to be in that this is about me right now. It's about my expression and my art, and I really want to bring that into life. And maybe there's other times where you're focused on other people, but right now Leo is very much self-assured and is focused on the self in a way that is not like disregarding other people, kind of like a healthy disregard of other people. Like it's not like I'm doing what I want because F you. It's like I'm honestly just not paying attention to what you guys are doing because I'm doing my own thing, and I'm like, look at me, this is really exciting. It's not like F you, I'm taking center stage. It's just kind of like that childlike enthusiasm of like, I'm making art and I'm having a great time. And like, what are you doing? Maybe you're making art too. Oh, let's make art together. Like, but I'm just doing what I want to do. And that just kind of bubbled child enthusiasm of just doing what you want to do can be really infectious to other people and really excellent, instead of being like, oh, I'm really like, I'm just gonna work my own thing, and I don't want to bother anybody. Like bringing that like, no, I'm working on my stuff because I'm in that Leo confident. I'm in that like, this is what I want to do, and understanding that people in Leo season are looking at each other. Leo is the center stage performer and is being watched, and so in Leo season, there's this sort of joined energy of we all kind of have this injection of like, yeah, I'm going to express myself more and also look at all these other people because everybody else is expressing themselves too. It's like doing my own work and also looking at other people. And it's this really exciting way to kind of keep our eyes on each other and have eyes on us, and then get inspired and have the ripple effects of what it is we're creating. Whether it's positive or negative, there can be negative effects from what you're doing as well. So need to be aware that we are affected by each other. A Leo is moving into a social sphere where we are in community with each other, and that effect happens. So there is certainly a responsibility, not to freak you out, but just, being aware that our impacts do have ripples on each other. So yeah, overall, and then so that's kind of that Leo vibe of like, you have that confidence to express and create. And then Virgo season rolls around, and Virgo season it's this opportunity for service, to start to help other people and be like, maybe that's when you start to come out of that aura and not just think of yourself, but be like, hey, how's everybody else doing? Like maybe what I'm doing can help somebody else. Maybe you're looking to network now. Like maybe you have a need that like, actually I've been working on this, we can work together, and like, healthy collaboration where you're paying now attention to other people and trying to elevate other people up too, and seeing how the thing that you have created and what you've been excited about can now maybe fit the need of somebody else. So that's kind of towards the end of the month, we can start paying attention to other people around and offering our gifts now. And our gifts will be significantly more robust if we've given us this time in Leo season to really cook up and focus on what we're doing now, instead of constantly like trying to help other people. It's like checking in the oven so much to see if something's done being cooked. It's like, you're letting all the heat out. It's not cooking well anymore. It's just going to be a lot faster. Just leave it in until it's done. So leave yourself in the oven, cook what you're doing, and then you can come out in Virgo season and see if what you're doing can help other people and be in service in the community. So Yeah, I think that's what you have for August, Cancer. If you have any other questions specifically, or you're interested in more support in that kind of Leo aspect and seeing what kind of transits are happening that's going to make more of an impact on your kind of creative expression, do check out my Leo season forecast. There's a couple of interesting retrogrades that are happening that are starting in this season, so really helpful to check that out. Be aware of it's a pay what you can workshop, so it's super accessible. It's on my YouTube channel. Like and share, subscribe, do all of those lovely things. And I will see you next month. Have a lovely August, Cancer.